Hello, hello, welcome, welcome. Some people might not be done with the episode, so Carmine and I are going to talk about World Cup for a while. So,
Are we?
yeah, we
Yeah.
are. Now, I want to talk
Hold
about
on, hold on.
yes, let's
Let
talk
me give
about
the audience. Let me give the audience some context of what we were saying, because
yeah,
a while back, a couple days ago, Brazil was going up against Haiti, and the Brazilians, of course, were destroying the Haitian team, and the Brazilians were being like, "Yeah, we're doing it!" Like it's Haiti, right?
it's
So
hate.
Preston's like, "The Brazil team, fucking douchebags, bro. The Argentinian team has the easiest path to the finals."
I completely agree with you. I completely agree with you. I was watching the Argentina Jordan game, okay, and the like first of all they put in the Argentina B team, and the B team is just fucking just destroying the poor Jordanians, and just when they score on them, it's just like they can be such dickheads, like sticking their tongues out, being like ah. You're like, dude, you're scoring against Jordan. Okay, this guy has to like go back to Jordan, like his this poor humble land of Bedouins and Palestinian refugees, and like, and you're sitting there like, arrogantly being like, yeah, like you scored on a Jordanian. Come on. Yeah, they were being dicks. They were being absolute. And you're right that Argentina has the easiest path. And on top of that, the ref was playing like outrageously pro Argentina. So Argentina's second goal was there was a ball close to the goal, and he like the guy dove his head down really low to head it out of the way, and therefore the Jordanian guy's foot like kicks him in the face, and they did a penalty, and then he got a goal on the penalty, and you're like, what are you doing? Like he put his face into the guy's foot, and you're calling a penalty? Like, it was so pro Argentina.
I like the Ronaldo fan in the comments. This guy crying, Harrell, whatever his name is. He goes, don't ask Carmine about World Cup. He does nothing. Hey, Homelander, Ronaldo sucks. I mean, Ronaldo sucks.
You mean
He's
as
a
a
douche.
person, not as a player?
He'll never be Messi. Ronaldo sucks. I love it upsetting these guys. I love it.
This is funny because you're supposed to hate Argentina more than anything, right? Isn't like a Brazilian, like who they're supposed to root for? Brazil won, and whoever's playing Argentina second.
You know who I'll tell you right now, I think should probably take the cup, either Argentina or France, and I'll tell you why. The better team
Hmm.
needs to win. I don't give a fuck what my like. Yes, I'm Brazilian. Do I want the Brazilian team to win? Yes. Do they deserve to win? Absolutely not. Like, absolutely not. Neymar is washed. Everybody else on that team they're just kind of okay. The France team is fucking spectacular. They have a bunch of really good
Yeah,
players. So France is probably going to take it. It's just
I
a
you
shame
know
that Argentina has the easiest path to the finals, and they do.
right, but final game is final game, right? So
Mm.
we'll see how it goes. I mean, obviously any piece of luck can happen. As you know, I love the phrase "any given Sunday," because it like has that meaning, like any given Sunday. But like, especially after the movie, I don't know. Did you ever see the movie Any Given Sunday?
I don't think I have. No.
It's an outrageously ridiculous movie. Like, it's ridiculous, but at the same time, it's really entertaining. I think it's Oliver Stone. Oliver Stone does a sports movie. That's how ridiculous it is. Um, but if you've ever seen like, yeah, it's Oliver Stone. But if you've ever seen like, have you seen anything by Oliver Stone? Have you seen Natural Born Killers?
No.
Really?
I'm sure I have seen
Have you
something
seen
by Oliver
anything by
Stone.
Oliver Stone? He has a very
Uh,
flashy, outrageous directing style.
I probably have. Let me find it out here. Blah, blah, blah,
Like very
blah.
constantly jarring.
I mean, I've seen
Um,
Wall Street. I've seen Conan the Barbarian, which he was a writer, not a director on.
not in
Um,
the style. Even the original Wall Street, not in the style. Where he there's this Oliver Stone eventually gets a signature, and I would say like his signature is like Natural Born Killers or JFK or Any Given Sunday, where you're just like, it's very like 90s. It's kind of 90s MTV ish, his directing style, but it's a ridiculous movie any given Sunday, but it's
But by the
hilarious.
way, before we get off this, because we were
Yeah.
talking, someone we both know just sent me a interesting
Yes, definitely
research
Platoon
paper.
too. Yeah.
Did you know that researchers found that respondents who identified as politically liberal were generally more likely to favor Messi, while those with more conservative views tended to prefer Ronaldo? So if you're a Republican soccer fan, you're more likely to vote Ronaldo to support Ronaldo. Interesting. Interesting.
It's such
By
a
the way,
random thing. I mean, I guess it's just based purely on style. Like who is like really overly put together, and it's Ronaldo. Like overly put together. Like dude, like do you have every hair and gelled in place and your face is moisturized? Like that, like that's the only thing I have to go on like why you choose
Homelander?
Ronaldo over Messi.
You mean Homelander? By the way,
Yeah.
anybody listening to this right now, I just want to make this very clear. I don't really give a fuck about Ronaldo. I'm just really doing this to upset that one guy in the stream chat that you can see right there. That's about it. That's about it. I just love trolling that guy specifically. I'm sorry. Anyways,
I so agree. I so agree. It's so sad that Iran did not get to advance based on like the most exciting stoppage time of World Cup history. But yeah, fucking, it's too bad. It's too bad.
This cup is fucking annoying because like I think Messi's great, but he should be getting hat tricks off on like teams like France and Germany and Spain, not fucking or like not Australia or Egypt or wherever the fuck he played, or Iraq. Like these are garbage teams. No offense.
This is a good point. Is that Messi is from a very right wing fascist like government right now. That a man that makes Trump look liberal is the Argentinian president right now. But but I mean I have no idea who Messi votes for. I know nothing really about Messi's background. I kind of know he's been married to the same woman for a long time, but I mean so is Ronaldo. But Ronaldo helps Palestinian kids. Oh, that's nice.
Don't listen to this. First off, don't listen to this guy. This guy's making. This guy, I found out, writes Ronaldo fanfic. Don't listen to this fucking guy.
Well, okay, hold on a second. Okay, let's give it a shot. Let's see what it says about Ronaldo. Ronaldo has never made, according to our fucking AI, I'm just basing this on slop. He's never made any public statements despite frequent viral internet rumors and deep fakes.
I told you. What did I say? Ronaldo, fuck out of here. Homelander, he'd be up there with the Israelis killing everybody. Homelander, yeah. He's too busy though.
Yeah, these football stars tend to be really focused on are they going to be able to sell Pepsi or whatever, and they tend to keep their mouth shut on politics, you know. But yeah. Okay. So, any other last World Cup stuff
comments,
before we get into it?
I think France is going to win. My money's on France. If I was a betting man, my money would be on France.
I hope so. I just like it. I like it. You know, Argentina won last time, so I'd rather have things get mixed up. But you know, and I kind of want like other countries to catch up to Brazil's like 5 wins. Like I don't ever really want Brazil to win.
Let me do.
Yeah. I know that Brazil doesn't have much going for it except for football, but like
let me do something I very rarely do. Let me back up my country here. Brazil on some level is kind of better than the United States right now, and I'll tell you why. We actually jailed our Jan 6 guy.
Hey,
Bolsonaro.
No, fair enough.
He's in prison right now.
But if we're going on that, then like, you know, obviously like, I mean, if we're going on like goodness of the government, like We should all be rooting for Sweden or something. I don't know.
I mean,
Or
not only
Mexico.
that though, but
Mexico is
Brazil low
awesome
key.
these days, and Sweden. So.
Brazil low key forces everyone to fucking vote, or they have to pay like a $20 like fine.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
$20 is a lot in Brazilian real, but for the most part, like if people actually voted in this country, like
Yeah,
even
it's
if
an
they were
interesting
forced to, like,
thing because Australia has mandatory voting too.
really,
Yeah, it's an interesting concept. I kind of like it. Everybody's got to vote. So we'd probably get very different results if everyone was forced to vote.
Brazil's first match against Morocco was so fucking like no one roasts Brazilian people like Brazilian people.
Yeah, yeah.
Like my mom was on the phone with me talking mad shit at all these fucking players. I'm like, damn, mom, Jesus Christ.
Morocco is a scrappy team. I would love to see Morocco win somehow.
By
They're
the way,
great.
this is how ridiculous it is, right? So Brazil and Morocco tie, and then
Yeah.
Brazil goes on to like beat Haiti 3-0. But
Mhm.
then Morocco ends up tying with Haiti. Like soccer is weird. It's a lot of
Right.
it. Some of
That's
it
what I'm
is
saying.
luck,
Any
but there's
given
just
Sunday, man. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. That's the whole thing. They're just like, any given Sunday, anything can happen. This is Al Pacino. Any given Sunday, anything can happen on that field. You know, any given Sunday, any team can win.
that is true.
Yeah.
So we're here to talk about
So-
Star Wars.
We're here to talk about the this is season 3. We're in Revenge of the Sith era. I don't know. So this episode, you liked it better than episode 1. I did not like it as much as episode 1, but I'm basing episode 1's value purely on the gullet being salvation for it. And this episode didn't have the gullet. It's not like it didn't have things I didn't like. The song was fine. The song, the fish feed song. What else did I like about this episode? Daemon was in good form. Daemon was back. He actually had something to do. He had a lot to do. But what else was there? What else was there to like about this episode?
Well, this I like I tweeted. This is the episode where Rhys Ifans wins all the awards, and he did. I guess he's won one of them.
This character we've forgotten. Like let's remember. Like, this is exactly like bringing. Like I say, this is like bringing Osha back or Blackfish back and killing them. Like it's been a long time since season 2, right? When was House of the Dragon season 2?
2024.
Right, but like the month was what? Like it was in the fall, August. It aired from June to 2024 to August. Okay, so it's been exactly 2 years, and he had a diminished role in season 2, and over time it got less and less because he just kind of he gets Kristen Cole becomes Hand and he goes away. And so when you pull him out, you're just like, are all of us supposed to be like, oh shit, Otto's back? No one fucking really care. I don't know. I didn't care that much. Did you care that much?
Yeah, kinda. Like Otto had a really phenomenal scene in season 2, episode 2, where he just yells at Aegon. Like it really stood out. But you're right, he was kind of gone for a good chunk of the time. I don't know if the actor had other commitments, but I would have liked to have seen Otto throughout season 2. Maybe have a rivalry with Larys, which would have explained why Larys had him captured and then given to the Rhaenyra's faction as a gift.
I mean, yeah, it's just Larys is just wild card. He can do whatever he wants. But this is
I made this comparison in when we did the podcast last night. I made this comparison in Game of Thrones. You understand why Littlefinger needs to take out Tyrion. If there's one person that could figure out Littlefinger's game, it's Tyrion, and therefore Littlefinger's moving all these pieces to have Tyrion taken out, specifically during the Purple Wedding. Larys wanting to get rid of Otto on the board makes no sense. Like, do they have a rivalry? Like, what's going on there? Like, did Otto have some kind of fight with Larys? I have no idea. What's the point? The point is he needs to go. There are too many actors on screen, so
Well, if you had to say in House of the Dragon, say you've got a character who is a crazy wild card who can do anything. Who is that?
Alice Rivers.
Well, let's see. Yes, Alice Rivers counts. Of course, we've got if we're gonna do another one, we've got oh shit, hold on a second. We've got good old every time I'm trying to do this edit, and every time I do the edit, okay. So I have to shift, there we go. All right, so Daemon Targaryen. Who else? Larys Strong.
Larys Strong. Missaria.
Is Missaria M-E-S-S? How do I spell Missaria?
M-Y.
M-Y-S-S?
Yeah, you know how George is. With the miss.
Is it one S?
M-Y-S-A-R-I-A.
Yeah. And then I would also say Aemond. And I'd also say Helaena.
Oh, that's just unfair.
Yeah. And I would also say Ulf. And I would also say Hugh.
Really?
And what was Philosophy Tomb's name? Rogar?
Lohar? Lohar?
Lohor. Okay.
Sure.
Okay, so we've got this like list of characters here. This is just so far. These are my character who is a crazy wildcard who can just do anything on any day without any explanation or logic. But of course, actually, this episode we found out that it's also Jasper Wild fits in this category, apparently. Fucking Jasper Wild out of fucking nowhere, I am actually a crazy rapist. Like what the fuck?
Speaking of someone who's not a wild card, can you get that Ronaldo comment out of there?
Oh, yeah. That's right, because that's just not true. It's just not true. That was internet rumor. Didn't happen. Lohor. Now we're gonna put Jasper Wild. Man, it's just like there's too many crazy characters who will just fucking do anything.
Jasper Wild is fucking weird. Like, it's quite clear that like you could literally feel the tension in the Red Keep. Like, so everyone knows something's going on, and while this tension is going, Homeboy just wants to like assault her, like right in the middle of all the craziness. Why? Why the fuck?
I mean, his explanation was we all just try to he figured that he's going to die anyway, and that he's just trying to get enjoyment in the end or something. It was something like that. I think that's the logic, is that he thinks he's going to die anyway, so he might as well try to rape Alicent. By the way, every character wants to have sex with Alicent, apparently. Okay?
That's true.
Here's my other thing. Okay. Characters that want to have sex with Alicent. Okay? Let's see. We know
you're gonna make a list. You're gonna make a list.
Yeah, we're gonna make a list.
You're gonna make a list. Okay, so Kristen Cole.
These two lists are not mutually exclusive. Some people are on both lists. So list one is this. I think list two characters. Well, first of all, let me change this to characters who want to fuck Alicent. All right. So, characters who want to fuck Alicent. In chronological order. Rhaenyra Targaryen.
Rhaenyra, absolutely. And then Larys.
Well, in chronological order, we would get Rhaenyra, and then we follow that with Viserys.
Of course.
Then we get Larys. Then we get Kristen Cole. Then we get Aemond. Then we get Jasper Wild.
Sure, throw me in there somewhere.
Yeah, then we get Carmine of Red Team Review. Okay. All right. So here's our list of characters who want to fuck Alicent.
It's a good list. Crazy list.
In the source material, well, the source material is weird. In the source material, Daemon in the original Rogue Prince, Daemon wants to fuck her, and then it's retconned out for Fire and Blood. So, but that's a lot of people. That's yeah. A lot of people want to fuck Alicent. It's just never-ending list. Man, these characters. There's too many wild cards. Too many people that want to fuck Alicent.
I'm surprised you're not gonna go off on. Well, we talked about it on the podcast, but I'm surprised you're not gonna go off on like the lack of Dreamfire.
Oh yeah, fuck this whole episode. This whole episode should be fucking about Dreamfire. I don't understand how they could honestly not mention Dreamfire fucking once. Not mention Dreamfire once. And from two perspectives, okay? One, you are invading King's Landing with 4 dragons. And there is one dragon that could potentially cause you problems in the city. And that dragon is Dreamfire. And from a logistical point of view, no one mentions it. No one says, I don't know, maybe Helaena might get on Dreamfire and fight us. I mean, this is the king's wife. She is a green, like, and then from the other point of view, hey, let's escape the city. Sure. What's the best way? You and me on foot. Wear a cloak. Let's go. Why don't you fucking go to your dragon? Go to your fucking goddamn dragon, Helaena. That's the best way to escape the city is on your fucking goddamn dragon. And then beyond that, even if you decide that you don't want to fucking escape the city and don't realize that that's the best fucking way, like, why wouldn't you, like, you have a telepathic bond with the dragon, and even beyond, let's say your telepathic bond isn't that intense, like, it's your pet. It's your pet. I was saying this to Carmine once. Carmine, say in 2 days' time, someone is going to come to your apartment and try to kill you, and you need to leave. Okay? And you need to bring 3 things. What are those 3 things? Is your cat one of them? And you're like, fuck yeah, my cat is one of them. Like, you're not fucking leaving your cat behind, right?
By the way, we were watching this episode last night, and the entire time Press is texting me, get on Dreamfire. Why isn't she on Dreamfire? Is Dreamfire in this episode? The entire time.
And you kept being silent, and I was like, oh, maybe it is coming later. And it's like, nope. Fucking cannot believe. I cannot believe not a single fucking mention of Dreamfire. It is just incompetence. Absolute fucking incompetence that they did not bring.
Just to be clear for the casuals who still watch our stuff and like they don't, Dreamfire is Helena's dragon. And yes, to the people who are questioning, is Dreamfire ever shown? Briefly in episode 7, season 1, when the Greens are flying back to King's Landing after Laena's funeral.
Yeah, I mean Helaena on Dreamfire. I think Dreamfire is shown once more because I think young Aemond like walks back there and gets scared of dragons, and Dreamfire like growls at him or something.
Was that Dream? Oh
well,
yeah.
it's not. I mean, it might be Dreamfire. Like I don't know. What dragons are in the dragon pit? Kind of question. But I think size wise and everything, Dreamfire is the best candidate. Like an A. can't believe they didn't mention Dreamfire. That's just like,
The other thing that upset you was Alicent taking away that one scene that Daemon needed to have with Luther Largent.
oh yeah, like the fact that there's double motivation for Luther Largent and ruins the entire surprise. Like the entire point of the character of Daemon being in the gold cloaks at the beginning of the show is for Luther Largent to be there years later. In the source material it's like 25 years, and here it's like 20, but like, is it realistic? No, it's a stupid George idea. It's a very stupid George idea. But like the entire point of Daemon like being in the Gold Cloaks is because the Gold Cloaks turn and take over the city for him before they come. Like that's the entire fucking point of the Gold Cloak plot line with Daemon is for that. And keep in mind, like the Princess of the Queen is written first and then the Rogue Prince. So like they write that, oh, they took the city, and they took the city because Daemon used to be the head of the Gold Cloaks. Like that's written in there, boiled in there in Princess and the Queen. And then when they read the Rogue Prince, they're like, well, we got to have him do something as the fucking Gold Cloaks head. And so
we discussed this on the podcast, but this is the problem with House of the Dragon. Luther Largent says he's known Daemon for 20 years. He should have been a little cameo in season 1, so like people who are rewatching could be like, oh, it's that guy that appears later. And the other thing, this is something in the stream chat, Carly Rodriguez here says, canonically, Helaena loves animals too, no? Seems like she should care about her dragon, even if not used in war. Yeah.
Right. People that love animals, I mean, like, you know, people that love animals, they go ride horses, whatever. They go to the stables, they pet their horse. Like, shouldn't she be visiting Dreamfire all the time and be like, oh, there's my dragon?
Aegon loves Sunfire somehow more than Helaena loves her dragon.
Absolutely. Like we were given that scene where Aegon goes and like is with his like dragon for a moment, and and it's like comforting for a moment that he's got the dragon. He's got his cat. You know, like it's there. It doesn't, like, any pet owner will tell you that they are not, I'm not talking goldfish or whatever, but like anyone with a cat or a dog will tell you, like, if I'm leaving town, yeah, of course I'm taking my fucking pet. I'm taking my dog, I'm taking my cat. The fact that she's leaving town doesn't even think about Dreamfire. Doesn't fucking think about it. Dumb. Anyway, about to watch the episode, but I have a few questions regarding A Song of Ice and Fire. Cats left face down for 3 days. So do the 7 have Purgatory? Otherwise, my thought was the classic horror trope that they have let something worse in. All right, so I understand what you're asking. You're kind of asking two different things, but let me address, like, does the Faith of the 7 have Purgatory? The short answer is we don't really know, but it's a probable in this case. Okay, so Catholic tradition holds that there are sections of hell. I know that people get Dante's Inferno confused with like Catholic tradition. Dante's Inferno has like 9 circles of hell, but Catholic tradition does hold that there's separate sections of hell, limbo and purgatory and stuff like this. And limbo is for like babies that die, and purgatory is for people that have a low level of sin that can be overcome through punishment, and so that they can eventually make it to heaven. Something like this. This changes from pope to pope on whether limbo and purgatory exist and what they are. But nonetheless, it's an important distinction that, and this is taken from Greek tradition of the underworld, that in the afterlife you are punished proportional to your bad deeds in the world. Okay. And that there would be sections of hell to designate for that. Okay. So at least in the Catholic tradition that there is a purgatory for people that aren't that bad that could get out of hell, and then there's hell for people that have done stuff that no, you're never going to get forgiven for that. There's no penance to get out. So in Ice and Fire, there are 7 heavens and there are 7 hells. That's established, and from what we can tell, the hells seem to be very similar to what Christian tradition has or Catholic tradition has in our world. We know that there's fires burning there. We know that the deepest level of the 7 hells is for the worst sinners. We know that the pain is proportional as you go down, stuff like that. So, when they talk about the wickedest person, there's the deepest, you're the deepest depths of the 7th hell or something, The other weird thing, it's only brought up once in all of Ice and Fire. There is a Lord of the 7 hells. There is a devil in A Song of Ice and Fire. There is a devil in the Faith of the Seven. He's only mentioned once, but the Lord of the 7 hells is a dude. Is a dude. We have no idea really like what he does, or if there's a long tradition with the 7 gods. But there is a Lord of the 7 hells, who is like, an evil demon-like character that's in charge of hell. So there is a devil in Ice and Fire. So the question of like, is there a purgatory? Well, because it seems to be a big stand-in for Catholicism, it wouldn't be a big leap to say that the top level of the 7 hells is some sort of purgatory that you can get out of, the lightest hell. But we have no firm confirmation of that, but it's only like, yeah, probably in a probable sense that this is the case. Now, but you're asking a different question about like, could Kat have gone to hell and then had a demon like take her place and come out or whatever? Obviously, Kat being dead for 3 days is a parallel to Jesus being dead for 3 days, even though he's not really dead for 3 days, but everyone says he's dead for 3 days. He's really dead for a day and a half, but on the 3rd day he rises. He dies on Good Friday. He rises on Sunday, but they always say 3 days. Inclusive, it's inclusive counting, which is a old Roman thing. Kat is supposed to parallel Jesus, but Jesus didn't go to purgatory. Like Jesus went straight to hell. Like he had the harrowing of hell is like what Jesus did. Like he was beyond purgatory. He was in straight up hell. So, but like, could Kat be a demon that was taken back from hell? I mean, the thing is the gods probably aren't real in Ice and Fire. We have no evidence really that. The only evidence we have that the Faith of the 7 kind of exists is the unusual circumstance of Davos surviving the Blackwater. Is about all we got. It's something, but do we think that there's actually an afterlife or a hell in this universe? Probably not. George is an atheist. The gods are probably fake. All the gods are probably fake. But do I think that demons exist? I mean, shadow babies? I don't know. No, I don't think it's anything like that. Anyway, hopefully Larys Marbrand, goated as ever. Wasn't it his name about Larys Marbrand? Larry Marbrand? Isn't it is it Lawrence? What's Marbrand's source? Is that his name? Larry Lawrence? Laurent, right? Laurent Marbrand. Larry Marbrand. That's funny. Emma was good in this episode, I admit. Emma's always good, but I think she was given poor direction. I don't think she should have acted like that in the end. I think that she should have been like, fuck yeah, I can kill Otto. Otto is a piece of shit who is the cause of all of this. He is directly responsible for everything that happened. And so he's directly responsible for Rhaenyra being usurped, the war, all these people dying, Rhaenyra's children dying. It is his fault. If anybody, deserves to have to be beheaded, it's him. It's So I mean, she did what she did, but I don't think she should have been crying or sad about it. I don't think she was just a couple episodes. She's just like, oh right, she's flirting with Alicent, talking about murdering her sons, and now I'm supposed to feel sad or shocked about Otto. Otto deserves to die many times over. Versus Aegon's a horrible person too, but Otto is worse in my opinion. I bet Ryan Condal got jealous of Dunk, so he added that song at the last minute. The song was fun. Very, very. I don't know, Carmine. What do you think of the song? Does it remind you of Lord of the Rings?
No, I don't know what this guy is talking about. But let's be real here. There will never be a most ridiculous, inappropriate song than the one that was played right after Jaime gets his hand cut off. Do you remember that? It was
yeah. The
rock version
the rock
of Bear
version
Named
of
Bear.
Bear. No, but he's saying that like, okay, we got to see the drinking song with Lionel Baratheon and Dondarrion, and they were singing a dirty old like drunken song, and then now we get this drunken song.
Oh, you're talking about like Fish Feed.
Yeah. Fish Feed versus the drinking song in Dunk and Egg, and they are very similar. Considering, I mean, was there ever a drinking song like this in all of Game of Thrones?
Maybe, but they just got done. They just finished a battle. I think the song was put in there to make it very clear that Fish Feed did happen, in case book fans were going to be like, "Did it happen?" Yeah, it did. They made a song about it.
Yeah.
Reigns of Castamere, does that count?
Yeah, but it's not so fun. That's not a fun song.
Oh, a fun song.
They don't have a fun drinking. I mean, do we hear them sing? Even when they sing Bear and the Lady Fair, it's not that fun in Game of Thrones. They're like marching and singing it, and it's not that fun. Like they don't have a fun drinking song in Ice and Fire that I can think of. I mean, I might be wrong.
Fun drinking song in Ice and Fire? What is this, Lord of the Rings? Stop it.
I know. Or I mean, in Game of Thrones. I don't mean in Ice and Fire. But was there a fun drinking song in Game of Thrones at any point?
Bronn sings the Dornishman's wife. I guess that could count.
It's like all beautiful though. It's like beautiful from his cell.
What about Jenny of Oldstones when Podrick sings that?
Very sad. And then they're doing the marching. Reigns of Castamere said they don't have a fun drinking song. So maybe it's very similar. But the problem is that a lot of these scripts and this shooting schedule and everything, this was probably filmed and shot before Dunk and Egg even. I mean, could it have been shot around the same time? 2 years shooting schedule. I'm going to say that this scene was probably even before Dunk and Egg. If anything, Dunk and Egg copied this, because this was probably shot before Dunk and Egg was shot. Interesting.
Like I said, I don't think anybody is copying anybody here. I think this song was just put in there just to let the audience know Fish Feed happened. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, you're right that it's functionally two different things. Like in Dunk and Egg, they're trying to fill time. And they're throwing anything they can in. And this, they've got too much. These are long fucking episodes.
Also, what's a fun song about a woman named Alice with 3 fingers who uses her 3 fingers to pleasure men's assholes? I mean, is that really a fun song? I don't know. Like, I,
Maybe Three Finger Alice is Alice Rivers.
Jesus Christ.
Bringing it all together, man. I'm just saying we got 2 Alices.
It's like poetry at rhymes.
Poetry
Sure,
at rhymes.
Fuck.
We have no idea how Alice is going to bring Aemond back to life. By the way, Paxter, strong hero, man. Almost fucking ended the war. What a hero. Almost, man. Hero. Paxter strong. Happy birthday to 100. Mel Brooks. Mel Brooks turned 100. Incredible.
Holy shit.
I know. It's amazing. He's still alive. People are like, oh, like Henry Kissinger made it to 100, and you're like, oh, that evil fucker. And then Mel Brooks makes it to 100, and you're like, well, he's a good guy. So it's just random, man. It's just random.
Balance is all things should be.
Yeah. Preston, do you plan on going to a game? I have no time to go to a game. I cannot. I know. Though. Someone I work with just came back from one up in Philly. So she had a great time, but
why would you pay $4,000 for a fucking ticket to some whatever fuck game?
Yeah.
Why would you do
that? I mean, she's a wealthy one, but World Cup should have handicaps for teams from countries that got sanctions or famines. It's just childhood nutritional differences. Look, I agree with you, but FIFA is the most corrupt organization in the fucking universe, okay? Let's remember that. Let's remember that as much as we love the World Cup, FIFA is so incredibly evil. And they would just be like, they know that this is the thing about the Argentina Jordan thing. Like they're giving okay, because I was watching with someone and they're like, why are they being so hard on Jordan with the fouls? But every time like they foul Jordan, like nothing happens. And I was like, well, because these are the people that like the Argentinians are the ones that people watch. They're the bread and butter of FIFA. Like if some Jordanian breaks his leg, no one fucking cares. But you hurt some prized Argentinian player, like that's who has how many whatever advertising contracts that people go out and watch. Like that's a big deal. It was the same of like Michael Jordan, Shaq, like they got to break the rules and you were not allowed to hurt them or get close to fouling them. Because that's where the money is, right? You do not approach the golden goose. Don't think you can hurt the golden goose. It's the same with the Argentina thing. But so when you say like, oh, they should have a handicap for these these countries that have like rough times. The problem is the countries that have rough times, people aren't really watching for them. There's no real money in it. Yeah. For us casuals, we love that there's there's Haiti and we can root for them and they're having a tough time. But like, no, like most people root for the winning teams, and they're not selling Haiti jerseys. They're selling Argentina jerseys. So that's just the way it is. Oh. What was the point of keeping Otto hidden just to kill him? They didn't want to pay him for the other episodes. I mean, they did this in Game of Thrones too. Like characters you've long forgotten about, and then they bring them back and kill them. Like I say, like the OSHA, the Blackfish, there's a whole bunch of them that were brought back and then killed. Balon Greyjoy, Who else in Game of Thrones? I think there's a long there's a few there's a kind of a list of these characters that were gone for a while and they're brought back and immediately killed again.
OSHA. We
Yeah,
listed them last night. The
yeah, we listed a
Blackfish.
few last night. Yeah, OSHA, Blackfish. In a sense, Dundarian, though he did get a few more episodes, but like Dundarian and Comp and the Brotherhood Without Banners, but they at least got a few. Um, but there are some others that it's just like you haven't seen him forever, and then Rickon, bring him back and then kill him. But yeah, that was Blackfish. Hey Preston, first time here. Been watching since Riverlands of the Dragon. Thank you, thank you. We all clown on George R. R. Martin for his sex scenes, but can any author actually write sex scenes well? Romance novelists. Here's the thing about this. I was discussing this the other day with someone about fantasy versus sci-fi and how there is a big difference between fantasy and sci-fi, and that is that fantasy has sex scenes and sci-fi tends not to. I'm not saying, and fantasy, like I'm obviously Brandon Sanderson has no sex scenes, but like fantasy tends to have sex scenes and sci-fi tends not to. And I'm trying to think the reason for this. I think the reason is that throughout the 70s and like the romance novel was the only thing really getting sold. Like like if you were a writer and you wanted to make money, the romance novel and the supermarket paperback was like the way to make it. You had to just churn these things out, and housewives were picking them up and going home and reading them. And then in the early 80s, they kind of realized that like, hey, they're like Dragonlance came out, and like fantasy was suddenly something that you could write pulp stuff, and people were going to buy these fantasy novels. Dragonlance kind of breaking in here, and then after Dragonlance, everyone started writing a bunch of fucking fantasy. But the thing is, there was like this period where you're transitioning people from romance to be like, what's the hot thing to write about? Oh, it's fantasy. Okay, so you're grabbing romance authors and turning them into fantasy authors, and that was just kind of like what it became. And then the fantasy genre just like included a bunch of fucking sex scenes. That's my guess, you know. And so it's a thing of the fantasy genre to have like fucking random sex scenes in there, because you're pulling in fantasy, you're pulling in romance novelists in the beginning. But you know, I imagine over time they'll disappear, the sex scenes. But I don't know. It's just kind of a fun thing. I mean, I think there's okay sex scenes. I think the joke about George R. R. Martin is just the weird metaphors he throws in the middle of them. Because like every time there's a sex scene, it's Mirish Swamp and fat pink mast, and there's always something odd about it. Lord's kiss, you know, there's something weird language at some point in all of it. It's never straight. He's never just straight saying like, oh, the nipple here, penis there, whatever. There's always like some sort of weird metaphor of something that somebody's genitalia is being called. I don't know. Carmine, you read any fantasy with some sex scenes in them? You think of anything?
I can't recall. It's not something I really usually focus on. The sex scenes in any of these novels, but I feel like you're right. There's not a lot in like sci-fi.
Yeah.
Wait, no.
There isn't George R. R. Martin sci-fi, but George R. R. Martin likes writing sex, but
like Dune might be different because Frank Herbert's a weirdly horny guy, but Dune might be a little different because they do. Because at one point, one of the main characters becomes a giant fucking worm, and like that does kind of be the focus.
Frank Herbert. I think wasn't Frank Herbert against homosexual sex, and um, yeah, he had kind of social. Frank Herbert was kind of against uh, homosexuality, and so I think that so all the racy, if you know any sort of racy like guy on guy, girl on girl stuff that George writes about, or that a lot of fantasy, it's a lot of fantasy writes on has racy um, homosexual scenes, but you won't see that in Dune. Um, though a lot of other crazy stuff in Dune. People having the memories of their ancestors while having sex, whatever. But why is Hodor named Walder? Why don't Big and Little Walder comment that they share a name? Um, Hodor is just named Walder because that's what his parents named him, and just because Walder is just a regular name. I don't think he has any sort of connection to the the Walders of uh, of the Riverlands. It's just he's a Walder. I mean, he's just. I mean, it's like why is. I mean, you can take any character. Like why is Stannis named Stannis? People choose names. People choose names for different reasons. You know, we don't get into Walder's family. We don't even know his parents' names. Or his parents' names. We know nothing about their family at all, other than the fact that Old Nan is the great grandmother and Walder is the great grandson. That's it. Um, you know, if he's got Giant's blood or Dunk's blood or whatever in there, we don't know how or who or what exactly happened. He's just Walder. Um, but why don't Big and Little Walder comment that they share a name? They don't know his name. Um, in fact, Theon doesn't know his name. Most of the people at Winterfell don't know his name. The only one that knows his name seems to be Bran because Old Nan told him once. What's funny about that is, though, Walder is Walder's age is not that different from Theon's. I mean, Walder might be a few years older, but he's still a young man. Um, I think in A Game of Thrones, um, Lewin comments on his age, and mentions that he may be like more like he's a boy rather than a man. Um, but I think what does Lewin say? Lewin makes a comment about him. Hodor. Oh no, actually, I'm sorry, I'm confusing. It's the reverse. Lewin calls him a man. Lewin says Hodor is a man, not a mule to be beaten. So he's definitely not, but he's called a stable boy. Lewin calls him a man in Game of Thrones. So how old is he? The guess is somewhere around like because Theon is also called a boy and a man at the same time. So you can kind of guess that they're around the same time, that they're maybe around the same age. Maybe Hodor is something like 20, early 20s. But unless you were around before Hodor got Hodored, you're not going to know his name. Ned should know his name though. Then but Ned was in the Vale, so maybe he didn't, because Ned doesn't come back until he's only in Winterfell for whatever 15 years. So maybe Hodor was Hodored relatively young. But yeah, Ned doesn't seem to know his name. Only Bran and Old Nan know his name. But yeah, Big and Walder don't comment because they were never told. They were never told. Also kind of implies that Lewin doesn't really know his name. So Lewin maybe Lewin really did follow Cat up from Riverrun in order to have birthed all of her children. I'm trying to think of like someone that should know his real fucking name. Probably a lot of the help. Why did we spend all that time with Tyland last season just to kill him prematurely? Thought they were going to reveal it's a fake out this episode. I did too. I was surprised that Tyland, because Tyland in the source material is very important later on. But here they have seemingly killed off the twins simultaneously in 2 different locations. Right? Carmine, did you notice that?
Is Tyland confirmed dead?
He's not confirmed dead, but I mean, weirdly, Corlys Velaryon can float in his armor, and Tyland is. They comment that Tyland will sink in his, but Tyland in the source material is very important later on. So it's weird. It's very weird that he would be killed off. I have a feeling that he's going to come back, but it's strange. It's strange that he wasn't confirmed alive here. They had every chance to show him washing up on a shore. But Carmine, you are further along in the season because you have not. I know that you have not seen Tyland in the first 4 episodes, right?
I would rather not comment on that if I have or have not, just to not spoil the audience.
Gotcha. But yeah, I thought they were gonna. I too thought they were gonna bring Tyland back. I still suspect they're gonna bring him back just because in the source material he's not just like I mean, then again they like giving shit to Alicent to do because they don't have anything for Alicent to do. So maybe they're gonna give everything that Tyland does in the source material to Alicent. But
God, I didn't come to that. Oh God, that's actually fucking possible. Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh Jesus Christ. That actually is a possibility. Oh God.
I know, right? You gotta give But it's interesting. I mean, it's interesting. They didn't even make a deal out of it. Like, just maybe it was coincidence that Jason and Tyland are killed simultaneously. Why are you so mad, Preston? Dreamfire. I'm mad about Dreamfire. To be fair, Preston, none of the story makes sense whatsoever. I mean, that's true. That's true. You are lucky to be local to the Freedom 250 celebrations. How was it today? It's rainy in DC today. Very, very rainy. So I think right now there is a American State Fair thing going on, but it's rained all weekend. So here in DC. So anyway, I have not gone to any of the stuff just because it's they've transitioned the whole thing to be a Trump love fest. And it's just, why would I go down there? It's I've never really been I mean, I understand I've got kids now and holidays change, but I've never really been a fan of 4th of July, other than the fact that, like, you have a barbecue. Like, yeah, I like barbecues, but parades suck. Like, parades are a horrible concept. You stand on a street waiting for people to walk by, and then they walk by, and it's not that great. Like, so the 4th of July, I also think flags are trite and nationalism is stupid. So it's never really liked the 4th of July, other than the fact that I get a day off and I like barbecues. I certainly like a summer barbecue. That's about it. I mean, I like that, but um, parades. Who likes a parade? Does anyone like a parade? Like, oh, look, there's the you know West Elmwood Junior High with their marching band. Walk by. No one cares. No one fucking cares. No one cares. Look, there's the local karate studio walking by. No one cares. No one. No. What they got you getting excited for your Kansas parades?
No.
Thematically, I do see the Stoneheart is the worst part of Cat, but her being a demon playing a role intrigued me. Was my main thought regarding my first question. Yeah, I mean, I think it's not that I don't think, like, on a metaphorical level, uh, she's not a demon. I think that's the whole idea, right? Is that you're doing an inverted Christ. Like, that's the whole thing, is that, like, normally when someone's dead for 3 days and they come back, the Messiah is supposed to be really great, you know? Um, and if one are bringing back John, it's the same thing, right? You're bringing back this Messiah character, and there's supposed to be a positive aspect to it. And George would be taking the story and turning it on its head and being like, well, what if you get the character to come back and it kind of actually sucks, like, and they're more of a demon character, it's Pet Cemetery, right? And that's the twist. Like, she's clearly supposed to be a Jesus character, but inverted, right? And so, yes, she's metaphorically a demon. Literally, is she a demon? I think it's just that they set up before that with Beric Dondarrion that so much of someone is lost, and the only thing that she kind of remembers and has left is vengeance. Because you're right that it's completely inverted from Cat. Cat was the anti-vengeance character. What in at least the last half of A Game of Thrones, A Clash of Kings, and A Storm of Swords, she was the anti-vengeance, let's make peace, this war is stupid character. And so to have it inverted to her suddenly being pro let's kill everybody, I want vengeance, is the exact opposite of what Catelyn was. So, but yeah, I mean, it's more like you're taking the character and twisting her versus, like, her being a demon, then it's just a completely different character. So there's something sad to it, right? I don't think Stoneheart comes across evil in the books. I mean, I don't know how you read the epilogue of A Storm of Swords and come to that conclusion. I mean, she very clearly has no mercy for someone, and doesn't want to even give him a merit for a trial, and then threatens to kill a child unless Brienne go and try to hunt down Jaime Lannister. She's pretty evil. Hi Preston, what do you think of the lack of cloning stand in all the sci-fi concepts instead of including Game of Thrones? I wonder in relation to Royd and any parent mystery in Game of Thrones. Why is there no cloning in Game of Thrones, considering that like he's taken a lot of the other fantasy concepts um and brought them over. It's true that there's a lot of sci-fi concepts that he brought over, mainly like telepathy, and I suppose genetic engineering and souls being held in computers or whatever, whisper jewels and such, and or in alien depositories, your consciousness being held there. But it's true that like there's not much of the cloning. However, I will say that in place of the clones, he simply has twins, right? Who twins can be clones and they can be fraternal or whatever, like Jaime and Cersei. But Jaime and Cersei are, even though obviously male and female twins can't be clones, they're as close to clones as possible. They're as close to a cross-gender clone as possible. They look exactly the same. And the metaphorical idea of fucking oneself because one is so self-obsessed is there again. So like Royd's mother was a self-obsessed narcissist. And so she wanted to cross clone herself, give herself a lover because she loved herself. And this concept is done a bunch. It's done in the House of the Worm. And like the entire point of Jaime and Cersei being in love with each other is that they're not really in love with each other. They're in love with themselves. And it's a complete, like Cersei stops liking Jaime when Jaime grows the beard because now she's no longer fucking herself. Now it's a complete, now he looks different. And so, and when he starts having a different personality from her, she dislikes him because she's completely a narcissist, right? So I would say that yes, there's no cloning, but there's still twins. There's still twins, and so we still get some of the same creepy stuff. There's still, he does the same, I guess there's Gilly's sisters are kind of all clones because they're also inbred. They're all the same. A little bit of that in there, but nothing literally cloning. But there's still some things hinting at the same creepy things that George touches at with his clones. But George doesn't write about clones that often. I'm trying to think. Night Flyers might be the only example I can come up with of him writing about clones. Night Flyers might be the only clone one I can come up with. He doesn't write about clones very much. He writes about telepathy all the time. He writes about body swapping and collective consciousness all the time. He writes about post-apocalyptic worlds all the time, and interregnum and medieval cultures on in future dystopian settings a bunch. But I'm trying to think. He only wrote about clones once. Hold the twins. It would be weird if George does Hodor. He had the idea so long. Isn't he a gardener, not an architect? He knew the cave that far back. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing: is people force George into being an architect on a lot of broad stroke stuff, and then just George changes his mind. So you'll see elements of things, that original outline, the weird blurbs that Carmine and I came across, and stuff that has appeared in Game of Thrones but is not in Ice and Fire. Like there's definitely echoes of his previous plans that he had thought about, and then he just changed them. So it's not that George, like, because he was forced into being an architect by the publisher who wanted an outline of the story. He was forced into it by D&D who wanted an outline of the story, and then he just changes his mind if he wants. Originally Jaime was going to be king. Originally Jaime was going to kill Joffrey and be king. Originally Sansa was going to have Joffrey's baby. Originally there was going to be a love triangle between Tyrion, Jon, and Arya. And then things just kind of shift a little, like now, at least the Game of Thrones, the triangle was Dany instead. He just kind of shifted that. Things shift, but it's interesting to see some of the echoes and what's there and how he replaces it. Like is Ygritte that different of a character than Arya? Is she sassy, strong woman who Jon connects with? So that kind of stuff's there. But for hold the door, yeah, I mean, if George ever gets to hold the door, which is probably he won't, who knows? Who knows what aspects will be there and what aspects won't. There's certain elements of Dance with Dragons that were architect. I mean, you could say that Jon dying is something that you kind of see elements of all the way back in a Game of Thrones, or at least there's all of the visions of like the cold Jon being cold, thing that keeps coming back. Maybe, I mean, then again, George retroactively shove stuff in there too, like I say, Victarion being the House of the Undying vision is a retroactive like shove in, because it's very clear that originally it was Euron and he changed it to Victarion because he was going to kill Victarion. It couldn't have been Victarion, but he changes it. And so in the Winds of Winter sample chapter, it's very clearly Victarion now fulfilling the vision. So, like I said, he's a gardener. He's forced into being an architect, but what he builds as an architect, he doesn't feel the need to follow if the flow doesn't hit him. Will the next Quentin chapter be in Mentaris? Yes, it will, or at least outside of Mentaris. But yes, the Quentin chapter, the next Quentin chapter will be on the Demon Road and him arriving in Mentaris. That is the plan at this point. Rhaenyra and Alicent faked their deaths and sailed to the land of the gay fake deaths. The gay fake dead. That would be kind of funny if they both go off to be lovers and then they run into Laenor. Oh, Carmine, you know what you said to me yesterday when we were doing our recording that I wanted to comment on? So, you know how you said that like chopping off Otto's head is the first time that Rhaenyra's ever killed anyone?
Right. Laenor doesn't count.
Well, you mean the body that the Rando that Rando Valarian who they kill instead of Laenor.
Okay, that was I would imagine that was
I mean, Daemon is the
Daemon.
one that snaps his neck, but
No, that was Daemon hiring Laenor's lover to do it because they're getting into a fight, and then yeah.
no. He snaps the neck and then they pop him into the fire, right? That's the
I think
body.
I think the
Daemon kills the
lovers.
dude.
Oh, Daemon kills it. I don't remember. It's been so
Daemon kills
long.
the guard. He kills the guard. He kills like a Valarian guard. And then they toss him in the fire.
Right.
Like that's a straight up murder that Rhaenyra was part of.
But she did not do it herself.
I
There
know.
is a difference between ordering someone's death and pulling the trigger yourself. Like, that's the whole thing with the Starks. Man who passes the sentence should swing
oh
the
my
sword.
god, but that guy was an innocent human being, and Otto is a piece of shit. Like, there's a whole, like, it was so, Rhaenyra killing that guy is one of the most evil things she's done. And cutting off Otto's head and it being the metaphor for her walking through blood and their bloody footsteps to the Iron Throne is bullshit, because Otto is a piece of shit and Rando Valarian was a nice guy who probably had kids. I feel much worse about Rando Valarian or whoever that guy was. I mean, not Valarian. He didn't have silver hair, so he's not a Valarian. But like Rando guard guy, Rando guard guy. That's a horrible death. That guy, yeah, that's just straight up murder.
Were you the one that told me that Emma Darcy, they were saying how this is like Rhaenyra's path of going crazy, is Otto is the first casualty in that? Was that you who told me that? Someone said that to me.
I mean, I didn't. I said something similar. I think I was saying how I wanted the episode to end, and how that like she could have had like a bunch of rage in her eyes, and then it could have been the first step on the road to like
Quite literally
insanity.
a bloody step to that whole thing.
Yeah.
But you're right. Her crying about it, like, I'll defend it, and I'll at least I'll try. I'll try to play devil's advocate too. She's never killed anybody before, and also that victory that they had there, part of it belongs to Alicent. It's as annoying as that is. Alicent technically did keep up her end of the bargain. She's known Otto for a very long time. But also at the same time, like, yeah, he was involved in a lot of stuff. We talked about this on the podcast, which I'll try to put out tomorrow or the next day after that. House of the Dragon's writing is inconsistent. Otto literally wanted to have Rhaenyra killed by the Kingsguard in Season 1, Episode 9. And then in Season 2, Episode 2, Aegon is going to have this, quite frankly, really smart plan of having the twin go in there pretending to be his brother to kill Rhaenyra and end the war right there. And Otto's like, why are you doing that? Homie, 2 days ago you wanted to do that. What the fuck are you talking about?
I know.
Like, House of the Dragon's writing is very inconsistent that way. I
mean, I think that I vaguely I kind of understand why they do make a lot of choices. Like, it's not like I think that the Dragon Seeds going to the God's Eye and back is one of the dumbest plots, like dumbest things you could do. Like, what do you why are they doing that? But I vaguely understand why they're doing it, but I just think it's dumb. Like, I understand like checklist. Like, I do think that they're trying to checklist, like, gotta have all the characters appear. And also we got to give Alicent something to do. So, we're going to have some random shit happen that doesn't really make sense, but we need Alicent to have something to do. Does it make sense that Aemond is scared? No. Does it make sense? But we need Alicent to do something. Does it make sense that she's telling this army that's very far away to delay? No. But we got to have Alicent do. Does it make sense that she's going to Luther Largent, and then Luther Largent is like, oh yeah, I'm part of the Gold Cloaks? No. But we had to have
to
Alicent.
me, it kind of does. I'll argue this. It kind of does make sense. Aemond is scared. Aemond's always had the biggest, baddest dragon, and he's always had like the best training from literally one of the best people in the country to train him. But this is a real possibility he could die facing multiple nuclear warheads at the same time. Him being scared makes total sense to me.
Just one, just Caraxes.
No, he like Rhaenyra. Alicent even says it. Rhaenyra like has multiple dragons now,
But they're not at the God's Eye.
right? But he doesn't know that. Like,
No,
they
he
don't know that.
does. She specifically tells Aemond they're coming here with their dragons. There's just one dragon at the God's Eye. Like, she at Harrenhal, she specifically tells him that.
No, Helaena tells Alicent that Aemond is afraid that if he faces Rhaenyra's dragon, this is before all that.
Right, I get it. That's silly because there's only one dragon at Harrenhal. He's scared. Did you not watch my video? Okay, like my video goes into this. They've changed Helena's prophecy because of bad writing. Helena's prophecy was you will be swallowed up by the God's Eye. Okay. He doesn't really know how he's going to die, only that it's going to be near the God's Eye. So whatever he does, he shouldn't go near the God's Eye. So maybe, Paxter, it could have been Paxter fucking Strong could have been the prophecy. We don't know. We don't know what the fucking prophecy was. But
every time you say Paxter, my ice and fire brain goes to red wine? No.
Paxter Strong stabbing him, like, no matter what, he's like not the God's Eye. But then they changed it. They changed it to now he's scared of Rhaenyra's dragons. And wherever Rhaenyra's dragons are, he doesn't want to be.
There's a couple comments here I want to address real quick. Bowen Webster here says, Otto caused the war. I don't think evil at all. Kind of like how Dany was, quote unquote, mad for killing slavers. Yeah, there's a huge disconnect between the writers and the fandom. And the writers were kind of weirded out that the fandom was cheering Daenerys killing these slavers. I mean, they're slavers, Yeah. Dread Snort here says, how did no one else know about Otto Hightower, previously the Hand of the King, being locked up in the dungeon for several weeks? That's the Black Cells. I guess you could put someone in there and...
Because Larys had control of the Black Cells.
Right.
So you'd find out about him... They would have found out about him when they put Jasper Wilde in there.
I don't think they put Jasper Wilde in the Black Cells. I think he was just sent to the normal dungeon.
He was literally down the hallway from Otto.
Right, but Otto's in the Black Cells. This guy's just in the normal cells.
He was literally 20 feet away. Their cells were like 20 fucking feet away.
Preston, what do you want, bro?
I don't know if they're in the Black Cells or not, but they're 20 feet from each other.
There's no light in the Black Cells.
They when they arrested Jasper Wilde, one could say, okay, Larys is in control of the Black Cells. The minute Larys leaves, maybe you could say no one was checking up on people. People are really hungry. It's been a few days. People haven't eaten. But when they put Jasper Wilde in there, you got to be like, well, what cells are vacant? Well, not cell fucking 17. Who's in 17? They look at it. Oh, it's fucking Otto Hightower. Really? I mean, this, or Larys has, someone under him that he trusts or whatever. And, or you could explain it that way. But they should have found out about Otto when they put in Jasper Wilde.
This person here, Cash the Quick, says the same thing I said. I literally expected Rhaenyra cutting herself the second she sat down. No, yeah. I expected that too. That was like my whole crash out during the podcast is I thought ever since the first episode when we saw the Iron Throne and the swords around the Iron Throne, it was put there specifically so in season 3 we get to see Rhaenyra cut herself as she walks up to it. Nope.
Yeah. Nope. I mean, how I would have done it would be the cause and effect. I mean, I feel that the cause, look, I trash the source material all the time, but I feel that the causation in the source material makes sense here. Gullet pisses the fuck out of Rhaenyra. She loses Jace. She's now acting a little bold and reckless, invades King's Landing. Then she's, in that rage about Jace, executes Otto, and Jasper Wild and whoever else, and like takes the throne. I think that causation is great, perfect. The show is like, we need Alicent to do something. So now the causation is Alicent came, offered to give up the city and have her own children executed. Rhaenyra is planning to do that. Jace happens to die. That affects nothing with regard to causation. Jace's death is incidental. She arrives. She feels obligated to kill Otto because Daemon provokes her and is like, you got it. Your people are watching, dude. People are watching. You got to kill him. And then she kills him crying. And it seems like a betrayal to Alicent, even though Alicent was already expecting her children to be killed, but now finds out her dad was killed instead. It's murkier to me because, and I was expecting this rage-filled, I'm angry about Jace, walking up and gets cut. And then you can mirror that cut to Viserys, season 1. It all poetry, it rhymes. Like, that's how I think in this particular situation, the source material is superior to what is put on screen and on that causation. But
our friend Manband here says, guarantee they have her getting cut during the storming of the Dragon Pit to show that it's well and truly over. Yeah, that's probably it. Manband, remind me of that when the time comes. We'll see if that's true.
What the hell is with Rhaenyra knowing Sheepstealer's name? That's a good question.
No, it's not, because if the guy watched the episode, literally Rhaenyra says it, and I'm going to quote Rhaenyra, Sheepstealer, Baela says. Baela heard whoever the writer was calling the dragon Sheepstealer.
But how does Baela know it's Sheepstealer?
Because Baela heard the writer, whoever the writer is, calling Sheepstealer, Sheepstealer.
And she couldn't recognize the voice of her own fucking sister?
Maybe she did, and she's keeping it private.
But why reveal the name of the dragon?
Because the entire time, Rhaena was saying, Sheepstealer, no, stop.
It would be... Are you trying to protect your sister or not?
I mean, they don't know the sister has Sheepstealer. All we know.
I'm
is
saying,
that
like, okay, let's say your twin brother, okay, goes.
No, I know what you're saying. I don't need the analogy.
Your twin brother robs a bank and is driving away in a car that has the license plate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and you're like, fuck, and somebody's like, what happened? And you're like, I don't know, but they got the license plate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like, why would you lead them right to your brother? Are you trying to protect your brother or not?
The guy's super chat is, how the hell does Rhaenyra know Sheepstealer's name? Baela tells Rhaenyra it's Sheepstealer.
But how does Baela know it? And you're saying she screamed it, but then why would Baela tell Rhaenyra?
Because she probably
here's the thing: is maybe the dragon was named.
Look, let me get Ryan Condal on the phone. I got you.
Maybe the dragon. Well, the thing is, maybe the dragon was named a long time ago, like Cannibal and Grey Ghost, and that's what everyone's been calling him. And the dragon is famous. Is that the other?
I'm trying not to give spoilers because these motherfuckers keep complaining about me giving spoilers.
In the source material, Sheepstealer is named by the small folk.
Right.
Prior to Nettles mounting the dragon. So it may be, I think it's more that Sheepstealer at this point, having not been spoiled by the later episodes like you have, but at this point, Sheepstealer is a famous fucking dragon. Everyone knows who Sheepstealer is. Baela saw Sheepstealer and was like, yo, that's fucking Sheepstealer. Because it's a famous fucking dragon. That's what I'm guessing.
You would be correct, yes.
No, so that's it.
Because in the very same episode, Daemon says, impossible, wild dragon cannot be tamed.
Yeah.
So Sheepstealer does have that reputation.
Yeah. Sheepstealer is just a fucking famous dragon. And Bela recognized the dragon and was like, fuck, that's Sheepstealer. And, you know, and some people are like, how does she know what Sheepstealer looked like? I think because Sheepstealer is famous, people are generally like, well, Sheepstealer, it's got a huge underbite. This is what he looks like. You know, they had some dragon schooling by the, you know, these are the dragons of the world. These are the 20 or so dragons that exist in the world. What do they look like? Well, they look like this. You know, this is what Sheepstealer looks like. It's a wild dragon. Okay. What does Cannibal look like? Oh, Cannibal looks like this. What does Grey Ghost look like? Oh, Grey Ghost looks like this. You know, that's it. I think that, you know, that's fine. That's fine. SH carefully considers evidence, then comes to incorrect decision. Evidence is pretty damning. Read the sentence where she reviews it. Oh, Stoneheart? Oh, I mean, I definitely agree that Lady Stoneheart, like, Brienne presents a lot of great evidence on, like, oh, are we talking about, well, I mean, both decisions. We're talking about Stoneheart has two pseudo trials that she judges evidence for. So we're talking about Merritt Frey, and we're talking about Brienne of Tarth. Both of them present arguments on, like, look, I wasn't really, Merritt Frey was like, look, I wasn't really part of the Red Wedding. My one role was to drink with a dude. Like, give me a break and come on. And then she executes him anyway. And Brienne is like, look, Jaime's changed. This information is you know, we're literally searching for Sansa. And she's just like, nah, you guys suck, and I want to, you know, I want Jaime Lannister to die. So it's you know, I definitely think that Stoneheart doesn't care and just wants vengeance on anyone and everyone and just wants to kill people. Because I'd also think that Stoneheart's probably pretty insane, but you know, that kind of thing. So, you know, you get going through each of them. It's like, this moral quandary. Do you think Merritt Frey deserved to be hanged? Do you think Brienne? We all don't think Brienne deserved to be hanged, but we're with Brienne. But does Merritt Frey deserve to be hanged? I would argue no. I would argue that Merritt Frey, you know, you've got these, like, you're forced into certain situations by your family. He didn't really do anything. He was down the chain. You know, he drinking with someone that probably would have been drinking anyway. They're doing what they would have done anyway, but, you know. She struggled killing Otto. How will she kill Rhaenyra? I don't think she's going to kill Rhaenyra. I mean, I think the idea here is they're trying to give motivation for as Rhaenyra as a stand-in for Nettles. We know that in the source material, out of nowhere, Rhaenyra starts feeling jealous of Nettles and thinks that Daemon is having an affair, and then orders Daemon to kill Nettles. And so Daemon, you know, essentially lets Nettles escape and then dutifully goes off to kill Aemond. And so I think they're just setting up the same situation, but rather than the affair, it's going to be Rhaenyra needs to pay for what she did to Jace. And the same situation will happen. Daemon will let her escape because it's his daughter, and he'll go off and kill Aemond and try to end the war. And that's it. I think that's I think that's she won't kill Rhaenyra. I think Rhaenyra will disappear just like Nettles and go live in the Vale or whatever. Um, but I think that's just what's going. They're trying to repair it, but I don't think Rhaenyra could ever be as interesting as Nettles. I hope I'm wrong, but I just don't think that was the strong that was promised. Paxter Strong was the strong that was promised. Paxter Strong, if it's not the way they set it up, like Paxter Strong was gonna be the hero that fucking ended the war, and Alice Rivers rips that from him with a very strange motivation change this season, because before she's all about prophecy and now she's about I want Harrenhal, which is kind of out of fucking nowhere. It's not that famous. He's not all dragons are famous. All dragons are famous. His first name's Sheep, last name's Stealer. How many dragons did Jace list is available in season 2? They do the list, but then they talk about the wild dragons who have not been claimed, and then Daemon later says that wild dragons can't be claimed. So I think there's a little contradiction there. Right?
I can't say anything. It's a spoiler.
I'll have to like look at the
I'll just say that Daemon knows more than he's letting on in regards to like wild dragons.
Yeah, Daemon's already protecting Rhaenyra. Like he knows.
Not that. It's that Daemon he is very in tune and very like up to date with most of the dragons. Like this is very clear. They make this very clear. Daemon, I will say one thing I really love about Daemon is that he refers to the dragons, and he's done this in previous seasons as well. He almost refers to them as people. Like he talks to them about them as if they're like people, you know? Yeah. So continues in this season, which I really liked.
Gotta give Daemon something to do. It's amazing. It's amazing. I mean, I get like I keep coming back to this point. Like as much as I criticize House of the Dragon, I do fundamentally understand the bind they're in. Like I understand the bind of George's source material is fundamentally flawed in that the plot has 3 main characters, Daemon, Rhaenyra, and Alicent, and they largely do jack shit in their own fucking story. And you need to come up with shit for these 3 characters to do in their own fucking story. The Daemon essentially has a battle at Stone Mill and is in the background and then has God's Eye. That's all he fucking does. And Rhaenyra essentially takes King's Landing, and then that's all she fucking does. And then she gets eaten. And then Alicent has the Green Council, and then does fucking nothing for the rest of the goddamn story. So it's amazing. It's amazing that you've got 3 characters that hardly do anything in their own goddamn story. And the writers have to come up with shit for them to do constantly. What are we going to do with Daemon? I don't know. Have him have some fucking dreams. Have him see some prophecies and shit. I don't fucking know. What are we going to do with Rhaenyra? I don't know. Have her make out with a girl. Cry. What are we going to have Alicent to do? Scheme and shit? Send some ravens? I don't know. Like they are coming up with anything they can for these three characters to do, because there is nothing in the source material for them to do, but they are well established as the main characters. So it's just constant. It's just like, what random shit are we going to have these three characters do on any given episode? Because we got to give them something to do. It's their fucking show. So I get it. I get the fundamental problem, but then when I see what they put out, I'm just like, like really that. Can't we give them anything else to do? So it's this fundamental flaw. Like, I don't know. For the preview, does Alicent not care about Daemon? I didn't watch the preview. Carmine, do you know what I'm talking? What's going on here?
Yes.
Okay. What happened in
the preview? The preview has been released, and so has stills from the episode.
Yeah.
You can see like Daemon is in the field with the Green Army, Orban Hightower, and I think Daemon is there as well.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Or Butcher's Ball or whatever.
I didn't see the preview either, so I don't know what this person is talking about. But I do see here pictures that HBO released. That Daemon. First look at Daemon from the third episode.
I mean, I think Alicent cares about Daemon. I think that's why she was saying delay. Like, don't get in, don't come to King's Landing. Could argue that, right? But she doesn't really know Daemon. He wasn't raised. I mean, apparently Alicent only likes one child, and that child is Helaena. She's the only child she just doesn't want to die. I don't know. I mean, Daemon, she doesn't know Daemon, but I don't think she has a problem with Daemon. But like, she tries to have their army not come. But yeah, I mean, she doesn't talk to him very much. Doesn't talk about him very much. Doesn't.
You watch the preview right now. Just like, don't show it, but if you want to watch the preview, it's like 10 seconds.
It only?
It's like I'm embellishing a little bit.
Fine.
Like
10,
15 seconds.
Fine.
Super
watch the preview here. Jeez.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's a minute.
All right, let me fast forward to it. Let me get to the preview. Got my tablet here. It's after the credits here. Okay. Okay, credit. All right. Little spinning wheel. I don't know if it's gonna. Okay. After watching these, do you have any desire to play the House of the Dragon mobile game? See, Carmine, because you watch pirated episodes, you don't get all the ads.
Hmm.
Am
I told you about the IGN interview guy, right? How he asked me about my relationship with HBO.
And you're like, there isn't one?
He goes, I imagine you have a relationship with HBO. They send you the screeners, right? And I remember I told him, like, they send me something. Yeah, we got the screeners, and that's all I'll say.
I have a relationship with a relationship. Okay, I must justify my father's faith in me. Rules as he would have ruled. Okay, at any rate, we must begin. On the next House of the Dragon, there is none yet to control in the matter of my bedchamber. Counsel, your resources are small, your hazards, there's a rat. Okay. There's the army. There's the dragon. Now he's got his blonde hair. Oh, we're gonna have to kill him. Candles. You have to remain yourself. Hightower starts going down. Your heart will be reconciled. Dispute. Okay, burning shit. Well, now she's looking crazy. Now she's looking crazy in the next episode. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Let me tease the next episode a bit. If
Okay.
you guys enjoyed Preston's Dreamfire rant, there's another rant I can tell you he's going to have. He hasn't seen episode 3 yet. I have. There's another rant that Preston is going to have. It's a rant that you heard before from Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and that's all I'll say. And it's going to piss him the fuck off because they did it in Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and it pissed him off there. It pissed Trey off. It's going to piss him off here.
Oh,
I
God.
won't say anything more than that. And the other thing is, Rhaenyra being quote-unquote mad is fucking ridiculous.
Send me. Are you? Send me what you're talking.
No, I you know what? I don't want to do it because I want to catch you off guard. It's gonna piss you off. I know it is because you ranted about it all throughout Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and they do it again here. They do it right front and center too.
All right.
I'm not gonna tell you what it is. It's gonna piss you off.
All right.
It's gonna be glorious content. But Rhaenyra being quote unquote mad, episode 3. If you watch episode 3 and you come away with it afterwards saying, "Wow, she's crazy," fuck off. Like, just fuck off.
So
like,
you're saying the preview gave the wrong impression.
Of course, but like the shit that Rhaenyra has to go through in episode 3, like, yo, anyone calling Rhaenyra mad after that episode, go fuck yourself. Like anyone would be so pissed off if they had to deal with what she has to deal with in episode 3. And it's a fucking great episode. It is night and day. So good. That's just a little tease for episode 3.
Yeah. Okay. Why did George introduce the concept of wild dragons? The black-haired Targ and Nettles are useful for Jon's secret and the third dragon rider. Well, first off, let's remember that when a lot of questions here, so I've got to sort this out. So when Princess and the Queen was first written, there were no brown-haired characters. There were no black-haired characters. Everyone was still silver-haired when Princess and the Queen was first written. There was no mention of Rhaenyra's children having brown hair. And Rhaenys, the queen who never was, specifically has silver hair in the original Princess and the Queen. All of this is retconned and changed. Once the Rogue Prince is written, then Jace, Luke, and Joffrey have brown hair, and then it's retconned. They remove the line and make it black hair. Make Rhaenys have black hair in Fire and Blood. But so you gotta remember, like, when George first wrote all this shit, hair color stuff was not part of Princess and the Queen at all. That was all added later. So the concept of wild dragons predates any of the, except for maybe Nettles. Nettles might be the first. Nettles might be the first dragon rider that he's written about to have black hair. Because she's described as a small brown girl called Nettles. Yeah. Adamant Hall, yeah. So, as for dragon seeds, like that concept, dragon seeds are definitely part of the original Princess and the Queen. So I suppose you could say, but okay. Hmm. Like, is Nettles useful for the John secret? What's the concept? Why introduce the concept of a wild dragon? I mean, I think your question, Tamello, like presupposes that everything is about John, and I don't think everything is about John. Like, John's an important character, don't get me wrong. But this idea that like, and this is my big problem with like the fandom when I first started this, is that everyone was reading into every other story and thinking that that story was about John. Like, oh, Jamie being a Kingsguard who betrayed his king, he can make up for it by being loyal to John. Like everything is about fucking John. Like all of Melisandre and Stannis's stories, like, oh, their prophecies, those are all about John. Like, uh, the Brotherhood without banners, and Lady Stoneheart, they're eventually gonna bend the knee to John because Lady Stoneheart's gonna feel guilty about how she treated him bad once he finds out that he was trueborn or whatever, or not Ned's bastard. And there's this desire to see everything through this lens of like, how's it relevant to John? And it's just like some stuff just has nothing to do with John. Like, let's just like, why are there wild dragons? Because it's fun. He can add these dragon seeds in, and then the dragon seeds cannot be. He needs a bunch of shit for it to happen to Rhaenyra, to have Rhaenyra's cause fall apart. As I say, there's 5 things that happen to Rhaenyra to cause her whole cause to fall apart, and the dragon seeds turning on her is a big part of it. It's 3, or her turning on the dragon seeds and the dragon seeds turning on her are 3 of the big 5 things that go wrong for Rhaenyra. And so it's, if they were part of her family, they wouldn't be turning on her, or at least they wouldn't be turning on her as easily. So so who are they going to ride if not, I mean, do the dragons need to be wild? I guess not. But Sheepstealer is the only wild dragon that gets mounted, right? Grey Ghost never gets mounted, and Cannibal never gets mounted. Um, yeah. So I don't know. I mean, wild dragons. It's just something to make the story interesting, I guess, for Nettles. Make Nettles a badass. Um, but it is. Yeah, is there much of a difference? Like the wild dragon. Do you need Targaryens always to have do you need Targaryens to have dragons be to hatch and continue on? Um, I don't know. Just I think George is just writing shit. Like reading into Princess and the Queen is like he's writing something incredibly fast and sloppily, and like you want somebody to read into it. Like, does the concept of wild dragons like come back? I don't think so. Um, but the idea that you could nettle a dragon, like that could come in if you have like Victarion or Quentin trying to take a dragon. Like that concept of non-Targaryens riding dragons comes back. If you're talking about Victarion or Quentin possibly riding a dragon. But yeah, but again, I don't think necessarily everything needs to be seen through a lens of John. With regards to Lady Stoneheart, she has Tommen's decree. Half of Ice and Brienne refusing to help give up Jaime. Merritt deserves it in Westeros, not on Earth. Well, I mean, everyone in Westeros seems to deserve to die. I don't know. I mean, keep in mind, like Merritt is serving his. It's all depends on who catches him, right? Like Merritt's serving his lord, who's serving his king, um, and he's commanded to do all of these things. Uh, you could kind of argue that like maybe guest right is against the laws of men, and you could say that. But what happens when your king and your lord order you to go against guest right? Things like that. It all depends on who catches you. So that's their whole thing. Like Merritt deserves. Well, I suppose in Westeros, even Qyburn brought the concept up with Cersei that yeah, the red wedding was poorly or was poorly done. Maybe some phrase should be executed, and she was like, whatever, I don't care. And the subject doesn't come back, but it's talked about. It all depends on who's king and who's lord, on Merritt's situation. With Brienne, um, see, if she were a knight, she would have certain rights, including a trial by combat, right? But Brienne's not a knight. But then again, she's a woman, and women would be allowed some sort of defense and things like that. It's hard to imagine that if we're talking about Westeros specifically, women are not considered people that have agency. And so having someone order a woman out to rescue another woman and then have her be guilty of something, be guilty of what? Like working with Lannisters, ordered around by Lannisters. I mean, she hasn't done anything. She hasn't really committed. Brienne hasn't committed any crimes. I don't know what crime, we're pinning on Brienne. That somehow she's trying to grab Sansa Stark and bring her back to the Targaryens. If we're really talking about the legality of Westeros, they'd be like, this is a null contract. This is a null thing because women cannot play that role. Like women are not warriors. They are not allowed to go out and do this. This entire string of commands is gibberish and not to be even believed or considered. And that she should be immediately ransomed back to her Lord Father and dealt with by him. Like that's kind of what would really happen versus like hanging a woman. That's hanging a lady is that's not done. That's just not done as commonly, So I would say that like, does Brienne deserve it in Westeros? Not really, because she's not considered an agent, like a person with agency. She's just a woman. So that's kind of the difference. If we're going strictly by that. has been a Twitter argument about this. I haven't seen, but why would George reduce people's culpability for dragon murder, having them act versus master's will? Um, I mean, George is more about making everything morally ambiguous so that everybody can kind of argue about stuff and the stuff to be a mystery. You know, like if the dragon wants to do something and you're telepathically linked with the dragon, how culpable are you? It's a mystery, and you'd sit there and argue about it. Like, so George, if you're saying like, why would George um reduce something like that just to create the mystery and to create the moral mess is why George would do it specifically. Um, but you know, he has characters influenced by their monsters. But at the same time, like, you know, you're never supposed to know clearly like who is morally to blame for a lot of different things. You're supposed to argue about these sorts of things. You're supposed to argue about like is Joffrey should Joffrey have been murdered at the Purple Wedding? You're supposed to argue about the Freys and Lady Stoneheart and and Ned's execution at the beginning of Game of Thrones and all these things. You're supposed to argue about the morality of all these things because the world's messy, you know. Uh, Better than episode one, still ish. Yeah, it's. I would say that neither episode is a disaster, but there's a lot of like stuff where I'm just like, yeah, this is weird. Um, this is these things like, do people not know how quotes work in the world? Like, I really hate how like you used to when you use quotes, like people actually said something. Now people just put quotes around stuff that no one has ever fucking said, and you're trying to put it into somebody's mouth. Like, I don't understand this one at all. Like, do do I say that everything sucks? When did I say I'm a better writer than George R. R. Martin? Like, I've never said anything close to any of this ever. And yet, like, somehow on the internet, you can just put quotes around stuff and they're just like, Preston said this. And you're like, do you not know how fucking quotes work? Like, do you not know like what the function of fucking quotes are? Quotes are when people say something. I don't understand this at all. People have lost like the ability to like how basic fundamental grammar works. Like what quotes mean.
You're incredibly kind to that piece of shit for uh,
I've never said
pretty
anything
much
close
trashing
to
you.
that. I don't understand.
I know. Dude, I deal with the same thing all the time. I mean, like, what are you gonna do? People think because you complain about, and rightfully so,
This is
some
this
of
is
the
like
bad
Ronaldo. This
material.
is like Ronaldo being pro-Palestinian. Like it's just what
I
did you
know.
watch something on fucking AI? Like what is this? Like
Like I said, you're incredibly. I would have banned that person. You're incredibly nice.
oh, it's just so fucking weird, man. I'm more just like shocked. Like what the fuck is going on in their mind? Um. Oh, I meant that she wasn't angry enough to want to kill Otto. I can't see this version of Rhaenyra ordering Rhaenyra's death. She's not even mad at Alicent. What happened to Rhaenyra that killed that boar? I agree with you, Princess Lioness. At this point, they're still trying to be like Rhaenyra's a great person and Alicent's a great person. Like they're trying to have their cake and eat it too. Um, with all of this, like they're two really good people who are going to war with each other. And, they're feeling really bad and crying about everything. And it's so sad, but you're absolutely right. Like, I don't know how she's eventually going to get to the point where she's ordering Rhaenyra's death. Maybe someone's going to impersonate Rhaenyra or something later on. It's going to be a letter that Rhaenyra didn't actually send, which is like part of the Maester conspiracy theory, because the Maesters are part of that story, that the Maesters created the letter. So it's not that you're right that maybe Rhaenyra never gets there, but they do the Maester conspiracy theory, and the Maesters forge the letter that says that Rhaenyra is after Rhaena. That might be the possibility. If they remember season 1, they were so Maester conspiracy theory season 1, and then kind of disappeared. Maester conspiracy theory has disappeared, but they did have the Maester whisper they still did the Maester whisper at Storm's End. So, I mean, if they're following the source material, the Maester thing will come back. Maybe the Maester makes it all up, and Rhaenyra doesn't actually want to kill Rhaenyra or kill Rhaena, but Daemon believes that Rhaenyra wants to kill Rhaena.
I would argue that Alicent is way more of a bad person than Rhaenyra. Rhaenyra crying about. I know you're not a fan of it, but to me it makes sense. Again, she's not a killer. Yeah, she orders people to die, sure, but she's also. But not
how about
a killer.
That conversation she had with Alicent about like flirting with her, talking about I need to take Aegon's head. Why does she need to take Aegon's head? Why can't she exile him?
Because as long as he lives, people will always. Isn't that the whole thing about the Blackfires? As long as they live, there will always be that one family, that one group of people who always have somewhat of a claim to the throne, no matter what. Like, you have to kind of eliminate them. She's not wanting to kill Aegon because she enjoys it. She's doing so to secure legitimacy.
Robert didn't do anything for 15 years. Granted, it did become a problem after his death. Granted, it did become a problem after his death, but he did make that choice.
Wait, did Robert have assassins sent to Daenerys and Viserys all the time, and they were like always one step ahead? Not the assassins.
We don't know. So that's a big mystery of the story. I mean, they're sitting there.
Rhaenyra,
they're sitting there debating the morality of assassinating a little girl. Granted, before they'd be debating the morality of assassinating Viserys, who's older, but no. It's something about Jon Arryn, right? He says that Jon Arryn was convincing Robert not to kill Viserys. It was Jon Arryn stepped in. So maybe Robert wanted to, but Jon Arryn was like, no, don't do this.
But in regards to Rhaenyra, this is one of the reasons why she has Daemon there. Daemon is the core person in her retinue that takes care of these things. She is not that person. This is why I reject the whole thing that she's going crazy. No, she's not going crazy. She doesn't take pleasure in killing people. She does what she has to do, and that's pretty much that. She doesn't take pleasure in killing this guy, even though she has every right to. Fuck Otto Hightower. He did start the war. He did conspire to do the whole thing. And he, in season 1, episode 9, he was trying to have Rhaenyra killed. But that's just not who she is. Like, she is not that crazy person just yet.
She's only a person who kills randos and then replaces their bodies with her gay husband so that he can run off and live his best life.
Look, everybody involved signed off on it except for the rando. Daemon, she, Laenor, the gay lover, everybody signed off on it.
They're all horrible people. They're all horrible people. All horrible people. I just, it's funny because, I remember because there's definitely Rhaenyra haters out there. And it's funny the things that they choose, having sex with Kristen Cole or whatever. And I'm just like, that's so low down, that's so far down the list when murdering that dude is so clear as such a horrible thing. Oh. Mm. Oh well. Oh well. Uh did George have Grego salute Corlys to mock us? I think it's Sea Smoke, but did you see did a dragon salute Corlys? I didn't see this.
What?
But
I don't recall.
I imagine it's on the scene where like the Velaryon family is chilling on the beach and and Sea Smoke is there. Um but I have not I didn't see a salute, but I will look out for it. Um, oh, I'm just saying that Lady Stoneheart may not be the embodiment of vengeance she's made out to be. Fair enough. I mean, fair enough. I think you're right, Ross, in the sense that like a very simplistic a very simplistic reading is Lady Stoneheart is this cruel embodiment of vengeance. But you're right that when you examine the situation with these characters, it is a complex. There is a complex situation of culpability, and one could make the argument. You're right that one could make the argument. It's not cut and dry, clear. This isn't like trying to make Ramsay Bolton into a good person. You could never make Ramsay Bolton into a good person or a logical person or a person that has like a reasonable position. But you could repair Lady Stoneheart. You could. Um she's not that far gone. So I agree with you that you could make an argument um that Lady Stoneheart is analyzing things, and and there's a degree of thought to everything, and these are just the decisions she's made. Um I think the uh the thing that makes her look really bad is hanging Podrick Payne. Like that's really is trying to kill Podrick Payne, uh, and 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 Heil Hunt. Like those are that's the most evil thing she does because they are innocent. They are innocent. So you know.
By the way, in regards to Robert sending assassins, I swear I read that in the book, and I did. It was Daenerys won Storm of Swords. Daenerys Sea was often stormy, and Dany had crossed it half 100 times as a girl, running from one free city to the next, half a stead of the usurper's hired knives. So she believes that Robert sent assassins after her.
See, here's the perfect use of the quote. I'm Preston Jacobs, and I'm a devout evangelical who supports Argentina. See?
True. True.
Preston is always saying he's a better writer than George R. R. Martin. The same way he's saying he would have been a better Tyrion than Peter Dinklage. Absolutely. Absolutely. Preston's a better writer than George R. R. Martin, and that Preston actually writes. Ooh. Oh. Podrick orchestrated the Red Wedding. It's possible. It's possible. But oh man. Well, thank you, Carmine, for joining me. It was a fun time again. Thank you everyone for being with me. Any last thoughts on the episode before I go, Carmine?
No, I think we said everything we had to say on the podcast and then here.
Yeah. It's I don't know. I mean, I see where they're going with a lot of the scenes. I see like, obviously the Daemon pissing off the whites. You see the Rhaenyra set up. You see even the Alan Bela thing setting up their like eventual marriage.
You thought it was a setup. I just thought it was a conversation. I didn't think it was a setup. So in you'll see it. You heard in the podcast, but Preston thinks Alan and Bela having a conversation is setuping as a setup for their eventual relationship. I just thought they were having a conversation.
Maybe,
Just
maybe.
and to by the way, to what scroll down a little bit to what Miscellaneous says here. They assume the assassins come from Bobby B, but it's never proven or stated implicitly by Robert. True,
Yeah,
but I was a little like I said, I was a little confused. It's a quote from Daenerys One, Storm of Swords, how they're half a step ahead of the usurpers' hired knives, but it's coming from Dany, so
yeah.
yeah.
And Phil says, "Great show as always. It was better than the finale for sure." Well,
Phil,
that
I
doesn't
haven't
take
seen
much.
Phil, I haven't seen From yet, the finale to From, but fucking Christ, man, I hope it's actually worth my fucking time. From is actually one of the very few shows out there still doing 10 episodes a season. I think it's the last show on TV doing 10 episodes a season, but fuck,
But
man.
right, like Phil watched From all the way through, and he was saying that it gotten so slow. Like you're just like, oh my god, you don't have enough to fill up a show.
Preston, there is a disconnect, and it's almost unprecedented. I've never seen any show like this. There's a disconnect between the writers and the fans. The fans care about the mystery, like the horror, and the writers care about the interpersonal relationships and conflicts between characters. Bro, fuck off. The mystery is infinitely more interesting. Yet here we are doing the same bullshit. How do you still do? You know what? From I think is a good excuse as why we should not have 10 episodes anymore. I think this is why we should have 8 or even 6. Fucking filler almost every other episode. It's
Well,
ridiculous.
this was kind of what people complained about Lost about. Not that people didn't like the interpersonal relationships of Lost, but sometimes they said it went too far. Like you're like, I want to find out the answer to a mystery, and instead I get the backstory to some random fucking character who like kind of doesn't affect anything later on. You're just like, why was I given the long flashback backstory to this fucking random character? I don't care. Give me some fucking answers. Yeah.
It's so frustrating. Like you want there to be something, anything. Just please give us the mystery. More of like the horror aspect is so good. It is so Preston, you will never see a good scene like the one in season 1 finale where they're trying to construct a radio tower to see if they can get a signal out of this fucking hellhole that they're in. And the guy picks up the phone and he hears someone on the other line, and the guy's like, "Hello? Can you help us? Hello?" And on the other end, the guy goes, "Your wife shouldn't be building that tunnel, Jim," or whatever the fuck he says. Ooh, that was so good. What happened to that? What happened to that is, fuck you, we want a job, so we're going to keep writing in circles so we can keep having a job for multiple seasons. I never watched Lost, so I imagine that's what you were talking about. That's what they were doing with Lost.
Yeah, I mean, this is the problem for a lot of things, right? It's like the problem with like the slog in Wheel of Time and all these things is that there's the economic reasons. Like there's an economic reason that some people like to extend the story out rather than just finishing it.
Crazy. You and I were complaining about how what's the show? The Dune show. Prophecy had only 6 episodes, and you're like, oh, well, it's probably budget. You know, the CGI is crazy. You know what? It's probably a good thing. It's probably a good fucking thing. No filler. There it is.
Yeah. So he's saying what happened to that as a lost clone tonight. Interesting.
That reminds me, like, you know what? Maybe Deep Space Nine would have been way better had it not had 24 fucking episodes, and they spent 3 of it on that fucking hologram of Frank Sinatra Jr. Whatever that guy. You know what I'm talking about?
I know. I fucking hated those things. Like they're like I love it. Like the plot of that, like Nog becomes obsessed with it and keeps listening to the fucking song over and over again. I was like, that song is shit. No human being would listen to that song over and over again. Who would be obsessed with whatever Vic Fontaine's like "Missing You" song? Like no one, 0 people. It's not. This isn't 500 Miles by the Proclaimers. Like this is fucking Vic Fontaine.
Look, I love Deep Space Nine. It's great, but man, some episodes were outright dog shit, and they did not need to exist. But hey, you got 24 episodes and a child's allowance. You got to give these people something to do. And Vic Fontaine episodes. I think we had 2 in one season. 2 Vic Fontaine in one season? Fuck off.
Fuck
right the hell off.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, House of the Dragon. Yeah. Episode 3, I think, is my favorite that I've seen. So
Okay.
they sent out 4.
This is
3 is
important
supposed
to
to be really
know. So
good.
you're saying coming up next episode is the winner. Winner.
I liked it, but then again, like you and I are on fucking different like planets. Like I thought episode 2 was a little bit better than episode 1. You hated both, or you hated 2 but liked 1, kinda.
I liked one
Um,
only because the gullet battle was a really brilliant battle. It was a really great
I agree.
battle.
I agree.
And but I think that like the episode parts were not that great. It's not like I didn't like the song. I thought the song was great. The song is fine. Um,
What song? The fish feed song?
the fish feed song was
It's
fine.
fine. It's whatever.
What else did I like about this episode? I liked Strong. I liked seeing the Strongs. I think they were great.
They were in there for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, I liked it. Liked them. Liked Aemond's landing. That was fine.
Like I said, I liked episode 3. I thought it was good.
We got to see a lot of Gold Cloak dick. I don't know what else.
The people I spoke to said from 2 to 3, it's like night and day. I agree. I liked it a lot. I think it's their conceptual episode. I don't know. I heard some people say that. I don't know if it is, but we'll see. Like I said, a good tease for the audience. Prepare for another Preston
Raised by
rant.
Wolves could have been 8 episodes. It also could have been 10 seasons. Like, so much happens in that show.
Yeah.
Oh God.
How many episodes does Raised by Wolves has? Let me see this.
2 seasons of 8?
10 episodes? No. Season 1 had 10. Season 2 had 8.
Okay, a lot. I could see what they're saying about season 1. Season 1 probably could have been shorter. Season 2 probably could have been longer. Too much happens in season 2 and too little happens in season 1.
I was actually talking about Raised by Wolves with a friend of ours. Did you know I think Raised by Wolves might have been the very first show in the new streaming era that released more than 2 episodes on the premiere? Because when Raised by Wolves 1 came out, I think they released 3 episodes at once.
Oh yeah, we got Mother back in this episode. Mother and Father both in this episode. Man, they need to get together.
I need to ask Amber, because our friend Amber from the Road to Tarvalon YouTube channel, she interviewed Abu Bakr Salim, who plays Alan, and she was like, "What do I ask him? You have any questions?" I'm like, "Ask him if he's ever going to reunite with the woman who plays Mother,
right? Or at least like, I don't think they're going to appear on screen together, but it would be, you know. Do they go to cast parties together? Is it nice seeing your friend?
She already asked him, and he played coy. And I also told her, ask him if they're going to do a Raised by Wolves season 3 if it's possible. And he's like, it's not.
Never. I mean, that's no, that's never going to happen. It'd be great, but yeah,
Raised by Wolves, so fucking good, man. So fucking good.
I mean, we kind of get like Dune Prophecy is essentially a little bit of that. I mean. It's kind of the same character. Don't you think the character, the guy, like as he's gone on to Dune, he's kind of taken that same character?
Yeah, I guess. I just want Raised by Wolves, man. That's so fucking lame. I just want Raised by Wolves.
I know.
Also, they could totally meet. Alan could totally meet Jane Westerling. Fuck it, why not? Like, they add random shit in this show all the time. Why not?
It's true. I mean, you know, doesn't she eventually get her armies down there?
Yes. Isn't it like a 3-way race between the Rivermen, the Valemen, and the Northmen to try to get to who gets to King's Landing first, and then the Rivermen make it? Pretty sure they do, and then the Northmen take it.
Yeah. So, you know, maybe get them both. Maybe get them all there. They're all in King's Landing. You know, and in the end, the Regency, whatever one episode they do for that, I don't know.
Oh, I didn't show you this. There is actually like a leaked scene. I think the Northmen might take King's Landing this season. Did you see the leaked scene? Here, do you mind if I send it to you?
That's okay.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't know, like
fast. Do they mean?
I know. Hold on, let me send it to you on. You may want to like post it up on
I know. That looks like an AI kind of thing here.
Absolutely not. Preston, I've seen the screeners. So that looks like them taking King's Landing. What do you think?
With the trucks in the background. Yeah.
I mean, those look like carriages to me.
Anyway, in the source material. Rhaenyra had Northerners with her when she took King's Landing, but she had the Manderleys, but not here, not here. All right, well, thank you, Carmine. I'm gonna head to bed, and I will talk to you later.